Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Duolingo. It is time for another update, and on this chart right now we have a quite simplified version of the scenarios that we are tracking to the upside since the previous video when we invalidated the direct continuation further higher within a wave 1. Now that isn't necessarily a problem because we can still track a potential 5-wave move in a leading diagonal to the upside in a wave 1, where then we are able to track the correction in a wave 2 into the area of support between the $235.6 all the way down to the $97 level at the 78.6% retracement, where as long as we hold those levels, we can still look for a follow-up wave 3 within an impulse to quite a high extension to new all-time highs. Now, before we get there, we of course need to complete this correction, and we are currently tracking a potential ABC pattern to the downside, and we can even look for an ideal target for the wave C in this case, which is the 100% extension of the wave A. And as you may notice, we have actually already reached that level, but I don't really have the clarity, or not the clarity, I don't have any evidence that we have indeed bottomed yet. And if I am to indeed be tracking this correction as an ABC structure, well, I would actually still need additional extensions lower to have a full 5-wave structure within the wave C, which is a requirement for a completion of this or of a wave C. In that case, yeah, we have a couple of patterns, a couple of scenarios we are tracking internally within this wave C, where in yellow we are basically tracking the possibility of an impulse to extend further and further lower, in which case we may need to be prepared for a quite significant amount of additional lows to be forming within this area, where right now we are basically in the middle of a wave 3. In the previous video we were looking here at a 1, 2, 3, we were looking for the resistance in the wave 4 and the extension lower in a 5th wave to the downside. So far so good. We are playing or following exactly that scenario where we pushed into the first level of resistance, we got rejected, and we extended to the downside in what seems to be an ending diagonal in a wave 5. Now at this point I have no evidence that even this wave 5 is actually complete, so I am looking for even further extensions to the downside. Yeah, I am looking for a 5-wave move to be unfolding in this area where I really only have a clear structure for a 3-wave pattern down within an ending diagonal. And in that case, yeah, I am looking still for additional lows as long as we hold here below the area of resistance between the $173 all the way up to the $184 level at the 61.8% retracement. Then, if we manage to break above that, well, it's not necessarily anything too bullish yet, because I would still need to be looking out for the resistance area in the case of a completion within this 3rd wave to the downside. Yeah, and if we manage to break above the white scenario, above the 61.8% retracement, well, not too far above that we have the 186 level at the 23.6% retracement. That starts the resistance levels for the yellow interpretation to allow us for even further extensions lower, where the $211 level would still need to be broken for an invalidation of the impulse that would be forming to the downside in this area. And then we need to be watching out even for the interpretation in orange, which is not necessarily my preferred scenario. Yeah, the orange scenario is something we are tracking for a signal that this larger movement, this larger trend down is actually over, and for that we need to break above the resistance levels for a diagonal structure in the wave C to the downside, which honestly is possible even though not preferred. And for that we need to break here above the $250 level at the 61.8% retracement for the orange wave 4 correction. Then if we manage to break even above that, well, that would actually be a quite good signal that this entire correction may be done and we may already be in the larger wave 3 to the upside, but it would allow us to consider a possible wave 2 bottom for the larger pattern, for the larger correction. And of course we would still need to be looking out for the initial 5-wave move to the upside for additional signals, additional confirmation that this pattern, or is over, or that the uptrend has already started. And yeah, then if we get another 5-wave move up, we have a wave 1, we are looking for the wave 2 correction again, and then for a large internal wave 3 to the upside, and so on. But these are the first signals, these are the first levels that we need to break, and it will not be an easy task. At the moment, I heavily prefer the yellow interpretation, where I would even favor an extension lower here in what we are tracking in white before completing the wave 3. Then I would be looking still for wave 4 and for their extensions lower, where even then we may still a couple of additional 4-5 patterns before we have this entire movement complete. This entire 5-wave move to the downside needs still several additional lows before we have a clear full count in the wave C within an impulse. And for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.